The top stories. BUT gives ultimatums to government. Bank boss expects economy to turn the corner. And the Windies, as expected, lose in South Africa. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, January the 6th, 2015.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
The Barbados Union of Teachers has given 2 ultimatums to government. This followed a meeting of BUT member teachers to discuss their concerns over problems with principals at Parkinson and Alma Parish secondary schools and with what they consider to be a high number of temporary teachers. The Ministry of Education has been given 2 weeks on the principals issue and the Personnel Administration Division 6 weeks to complete the appointment of temporary teachers. BUT President Pedro Shepherd spoke following the meeting at Solidarity House.
We are also going to write to the Personnel Administration Division asking for the complement of teachers to be increased from the present 2,564 established positions to 3,000. We want an increase of 436 because the system needs them. The system cannot function without these persons. We have asked the Ministry of Education, Science, Innovation and Technology to give us some indication within the next 2 weeks as to the status of the current investigation being conducted into the Parkinson Secondary School, and 2 weeks to give us some indication as well as to what the plan of action which is being instituted at the Alma Parish Secondary School would bring.
Mr. Shepherd said he was pleased with the response of the union's membership as about 1,500 of the union's 2,000 members turned up.
The support for the Barbados Union of Teachers is tremendous. Teachers are of the view that the issues are of significant importance, such significant importance that they have to rally behind each other, give the support and the solidarity necessary to have these issues addressed in the shortest possible time.
The union has been criticized for holding the meeting on the first day of the new school term, disrupting its start. At least 2 primary schools were forced to send students back home because of the low turnout of teachers. Other schools were able to cope with the absences, including Deacon's Primary, whose principal Shirley Marshall said a system was in place to ensure children were supervised. Students of the Grisette's Primary are back at the school's premises at Grisette's. They spent most of last term at 2 nearby churches as a result of an environmental scare that officials linked to improper fogging. Principal Edwin Bino said the children had settled as well as could be expected on the first day of school, while many parents and guardians welcomed the return to familiar surroundings after being away since September. Let's hear from one of them, Heather Springer.
I'm happy to have my granddaughter back here this morning. It wasn't a challenge like going up to the school and thing, but up Eden Lodge, but it's just that, waiting for the bus, and I used to take her by transportation though. I didn't have a problem with her. I take her by transportation. But it's wonderful to have them back here at school.
Some schools have started the new term with new principals, including St. Leonard's Boys, where Joseph Maynard has taken over. Mr. Maynard was spotted holding meetings with fifth form students and their parents, advising them of their responsibilities and making his expectations clear. He later told Nation News that he was enjoying his new post following stints at Harrison College and most recently St. George Secondary. We have news of an accident at Jackson between a container truck and a van. The collision made the road impassable, causing traffic to come to a halt. After news time, it was not known if there were any injuries. A senior banking executive says he expects the Barbados economy to turn around by the end of this year. The CEO of Republic Bank Barbados, Ian D'Souza, based his confidence on an analysis tying the performance of the local economy to that of Britain, which is predicted to grow by 3% this year. Britain is this country's biggest tourist market, and figures for October, the latest month available, shows growth in arrivals at almost 11%. Mr. D'Souza said he was tired of the doom and gloom about Barbados. He told guests at a reception that Republic Bank was doing exceptionally well, its recent Christmas loans having exceeded expectations. Next is Hayden Gill with our weekly commentary.
The decision by the University of the West Indies to name a new sports complex in Barbados after Jamaican track star Usain Bolt has not gone down well in certain quarters. The cry from those against the move is that the facility should be named after a Barbadian. I respectfully beg to disagree. The University of the West Indies is a regional institution, and there should be no objection if one of its facilities is named in honor of one of the region's most outstanding sportsmen. If there are arguments that the complex should be named after a Barbadian simply because it is in Barbados, it suggests there's a level of parochialism that we could do without at a time when we talk about regional integration. To those who are querying if other sports facilities in the region are named after Barbadians, we should be reminded that the cricket grounds at the Mona and St. Augustine campuses of the University of the West Indies are both named in honor of Sir Frank Worrell. As far as I'm concerned, the argument that home drum should beat first is a weak one. Some of us speak about the region as one only when it is convenient to us. It's time to look at the bigger picture.
In sport, the West Indies went down by 8 wickets to South Africa to complete a 2-0 series loss and their 7th straight series defeat at the hands of the Proteas. The house, needing 124 to win, strolled to a comfortable win 10 minutes before lunch. After the match, West Indies captain Dennis Ramden conceded that the regional side's batting was left exposed by his failures and those of veteran middle-order batsman Shivnarine Chanderbal.
Yeah, everyone expected Shiv and myself, probably Marlon more, to get some more runs. Shiv has been doing it for the past 6-7 years for us. First time I've seen him fail in a series in 8 or 9 years I've been around the team. So I'm sure he's going to come back stronger. Marlon did well as well. I didn't have the best time with my bat, so hopefully I can get some in the one-day series and move on to the World Cup.
And finally, a Minnesota man who collected more than $330,000 Barbados dollars in welfare benefits while he had more than $3 million in the bank has been sentenced to 21 months in prison. The court heard that 63-year-old Colin Chisholm and his wife collected the payments in medical and food assistance claims in the 7 years leading up to March 2012. And investigators later discovered the couple had more than $3 million in the bank and lived in a $3 million mansion. Mr. Chisholm was also ordered to pay more than $330,000 in restitution following the completion of his prison sentence. That's where we end Nation News for Tuesday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. And pick up your Midweek Nation on Wednesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thanks for joining us.